I am coming to you from our nerd cave. That's right, we have a nerd cave. You see the Marvel poster. What you don't see is the DC poster and all of our pop vinyls and all of our collectibles from Comic-Cons past. But I wanted to come to you with a blog video this week. So I just finished my second week of the Goofy and a Half Challenge training. So today I did my 4-mile run, averaging roughly 12 to 15 miles a week on this training plan so far for the past 2 weeks. But I wanted to talk a little bit about how I got into running and the method that I use for my training. So back in 2015, way back in 2015, I had decided that for my 33rd birthday, I was going to run a race, and I was going to run a 5K because anything past 3 miles sounded like death. So if I could get a 5K in, I thought I will have really achieved something big for myself, and it was something big for myself. Like I said, anything past a mile was complete and utter death. So I had decided to do a virtual run, and I was looking, and I found one that was for the month of August, but it was a 5-miler, not a 5K. But I thought, you know what, it's July, I can train a little bit, I can do this, I have my legs, I have my arms, I have my lungs, I can absolutely go for this 5-mile run. So that got me thinking back in July that maybe if I trained hard enough, I could possibly do a half marathon. So I had heard about the RunDisney half marathons through a friend of mine who had done a few, and she talked about how extremely magical they were. And then my best friend Annie had done the Walt Disney World marathon that previous year, and she also talked about how magical it was. I have always been a Disney fan and grew up going to Disney. Every year of my high school life was going to Disney, so Disney was a huge part of my upbringing and is a huge part of my adult life as well, since I love it. So I thought, you know what, if I'm going to do this half marathon, I'm going to absolutely do one of the Disney races, because I was scared to death, and I felt this was a good race to be able to kind of find some fun and some magic, and not feel that there was this enormous amount of pressure. At that time, I didn't think that the running community would really welcome someone who couldn't run that fast. Little did I know that was the most ridiculous thought process I could have had. So I signed up for the 2016 Princess Half Marathon because, hello, it is princess themed, and I do love a good princess. So that was back in July of 2015. I signed up for the 2016 race. Now I had this race in the future that I needed to train for. And RunDisney brought me to the Jeff Galloway method because he is the official running coach for RunDisney. And so I looked at his plan, I went to his website, did a little research on him, and I thought, I think I could handle this RunWalkRun method. So I started to take his training plan for the 2016 Disney Princess Half Marathon and put it into place, and found that with the RunWalkRun method, I could absolutely run for days. Like that walk break, whatever amount of that walk break you decide to take, gave me the confidence that I needed to get the next mile in, and then the next mile, and then the next mile. So I was using his training method, loving it, absolutely think it's probably one of the best tools to get anyone, better than I think personally, the Couch to 5Ks. I would recommend his method, and I do recommend it to every single person I know. But I had this looming fear of these infamous balloon ladies that everyone kept talking about on all the forums, and friends kept talking about these balloon ladies. And in my mind, I had this idea that they were a whole, like, squad of ladies with balloons, and when they saw you, they kind of like snatched you up Pac-Man style if you were running below the recommended pace. So I trained really hard, and I followed his advice, and I followed his training plan to a T. And I remember my husband saying, I think that you're going to find come race day that you are going to exceed your own expectations for yourself, because you've been working so hard, and I don't even think the balloon ladies are going to be a thought factor on race day. And so race day came, and all of that training that I had worked so hard for really paid off. His method gave me the endurance I needed to run the fastest pace that I have ever run to this date. And I came in at 2 hours and 22 minutes using the Galloway RunWalkRun method. And I continue to use it. I've used it to train for other half marathons that I've run. I've used it for smaller races. I just finished the 9+1 program with New York Roadrunners, and he got me through those races as well. I kind of pick and choose what my interval is going to be. My happy place is definitely the 2:1 ratio, 2 minutes of running, 1 minute of walking. But for races, I have either just ran the race or used a 5:1, a 6:1, a 4:1. It just kind of depends. I listen to my body. I don't really adhere to just one particular ratio, because any given day there can be a million factors that play into how I choose what intervals I'm going to run. But I will say this, what I think I love most about his method is that it's a way in which anybody can run. It doesn't matter your age, your size, your shape, your fitness level. It works for everyone across the board. And I think that really reached me because, being a yoga teacher during the day, I feel that yoga is also accessible to anybody and everybody that wants to try it. And you should never feel any judgment in your yoga practice or your running practice. We say at the studio I work at that it's a practice, not a perfect. And I felt like Galloway's method speaks to that you can constantly challenge yourself, or you can really be in tune and listen to your body one day and say, you know what, today's the day I'm going to pull back a little bit, or maybe today's the day I'm going to push a little bit harder. But it really gives you that ability to listen to what your body says and how your body feels. I love that when I go to the RunDisney races, and now any race, because the running community is so amazing, that I am seeing runners of all shapes, sizes, backgrounds, getting out there and doing it. It doesn't matter if you run a 5-minute mile, a 20-minute mile. The fact that you laced up your shoes, got out the door, and got out there or got to the starting line is such an achievement. It is such a thing to celebrate, and you should just be amazed at yourself and proud of yourself that you took just the first step in getting out there. And people will say to me sometimes, yeah, but you take a walk break, so are you really running? Which, I don't know, did you hold your breath for a second and then start breathing? Are you really breathing? Yes, I am a runner. Even though I take walk breaks, I am a runner. A lot of times my pace in a race is sometimes better than the people that push through and find that exhaustion at the end and their pace starts to slow down. Those recovery walks help my joints, they help my muscle, they help me to find that extra bit of push that I need for the next interval or the next run. I'm also, because I'm an actor by trade, I only have this one body, and I need to keep it as healthy as I can, and I have to avoid injury at all costs because I need the use of my legs, I need the use of my arms, I need the use of my voice and all of this. And if I am pushing myself past what my body is capable of doing, then I risk that injury and it puts me out of commission for auditions or shows. So I really have found my best running in the Galloway method. I'm going to put a link in the blog. So if you're interested in finding out more about Jeff Galloway, you can look at the RunDisney website and you'll see that link below, or you can go to his website and also research a little bit about him and his Olympic history and why he chose, instead of working with professional athletes all the time, why he decided to get back and give back to the running community and expand it to not just be about elite runners or Corral A runners, but to be a thing that everyone can do and feel great in doing. So until next time, happy running, unicorns.